Hey guys, it's Will, and in this video, I'm going to walk you through the kind of really I'm going to break down for you our current VSL. So this is the existing WBTrading VSL that we're running to this day. So we're running this as we speak. This bad boy fills 7 full-time sales reps calendars 5 days a week. This VSL's made literally millions of dollars, around $5-6 million now, give or take, and it works. It's it just works. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to play this on 1.5 speed, and I'm going to explain everything in the VSL and explain why I said that, why that's in there, blah blah blah. So let's get straight into it.
Hi guys, Bill here, and no, this isn't a drawn out 2-hour sales pitch disguised as a webinar. I will not be selling you some trash bag $997 course that teaches you the same old beginner level technical and fundamental analysis or useless trend lines and indicator based strategies that you can learn on Udemy for $12. And no, this isn't fake live either. There'll be no hype.
Right, so what have I done here? So I've got literally straight into it. Okay, no BS, no introducing myself, no I'm from this company and I've got this to sell you. What I've done is gone straight in and I've kind of made an embarrassment, made a bit of a joke out of what most people do and what's happening within the industry. So a lot of traders out there, they're buying these cheap, shit, useless, Udemy courses for $12. They're watching these fake live webinars that we all know are pre-recorded by now. The market is too sophisticated now in the trading space for automated webinars. So I'm calling all of this stuff out and basically almost not saying it, but basically saying, I'm not going to give you the same old shit that you're going to get elsewhere. I'm not going to give you a fake live webinar. I'm not going to give you a cheap, shitty course. And then I lead into what I am going to give you.
There'll be no hype, no fancy editing or nonsense. This video is simply here to help you understand that there's a way of trading that up to now has been hidden from you, below the surface of the financial markets. And the crazy thing is, as you're about to learn, these invisible trading setups that you've so far been missing have actually been staring at you in the face.
Now, what have I done there? I've just opened up a loop. So I've just said, basically, there are invisible trading setups that you can't yet see that have been staring you in the face all along. Now, people are now going to think, oh shit, like, wow, what is this? What are you talking about? What are these invisible trading setups? And this, it almost gives you like an excitement. If you're a trader who is struggling, which is our target market, you're almost going to get like a warm feeling in your stomach and you're going to think, oh shit, like, wow, what the hell is this? And then you almost can't stop watching.
Now, I want to respect your time here and keep this training below 15 minutes, so let's dive straight in with what you've actually come here to learn. But just before we do, if you do stay till the end today, I've actually prepared an Edge guide for you that includes a whole heap of tools and resources that we're about to release in a few weeks' time for $1,000, which you will get completely free when we reach the end. This will automatically be emailed to those of you who stay with me, so make sure that you watch right up to the end and then check your email inbox afterwards to get your hands on.
What have I done there? I've just added in a free resource and basically said, if you watch this until the end, this will then be emailed to you. And it's just a hook to try and get people to stay and watch as much of the VSL as possible.
Now, what the hell's bells am I talking about when I say mechanical rule-based edges? Right, and wait, what exactly is an edge? Well, let's take this casino roulette wheel. Most people, when playing roulette, think that they have a 50-50 chance of winning, but hold on for a second, what's that green pocket? That right there is the casino's edge over their customers. It's the very reason why casinos even remain in business, because they win more than they lose. Whenever somebody lands on green, their money goes straight into the casino's pocket. That is a statistical edge, and just like a casino, as traders, without an edge, we are toast. And I know that all too well myself.
So what have I done there? Now, I've briefly added a bit of value there. So I've opened up a couple more loops by asking questions, what the hell's bells am I talking about when I say mechanical rules, right? And wait, what is an edge? And I've just told them what an edge is. I've, very surface level told them, look, on a roulette wheel, that green pocket is somewhat of an edge. It's quite basic and top level. I haven't fully explained it. So we're almost leaving that loop open. And what you're seeing on screen here, this piece of toast, is a pattern interrupt. Because, I mean, this is meant to be like a trading VSL. Why the hell is there a piece of fucking toast? You know? So I'm kind of tying imagery into my language and just keeping it interesting, you know? Like, this is just breaking up the points and breaking up the slides and keeping it visually engaging and, you know, a little bit fun as well. You know, if you don't have an edge, you're toast. So I'm making my point, but in a fun way.
Because back before I was being featured in global publications like Yahoo Finance, Business Insider, Influensive, and before I began sharing my mechanical strategies with losing traders and helping them go from stuck and struggling to receiving as high as 6-figure funding from proprietary trading firms.
So what am I doing here? This is pretty obvious. I'm basically adding social proof. I'm making myself out to be a professional. You know, I'm basically saying, look, I am featured in Yahoo Finance, Business Insider, Influensive. I am worthy of respect. You know, I'm clearly a professional. I've helped other people in the past, and I'm just kind of not really widening the gap, but proving that I'm worthy of being listened to, basically, and just very quickly covering my background.
Firms or growing their capital by 3, 4, 5+ figures per month. I was stuck. I was struggling myself. Yet I had no idea why. I remember thinking there must be a way to trade with ease. And maybe you've thought that yourself in the past. See, I was doing exactly what I was told. I draw the trend line where I was told to. What happened? I was stopped out and I lost money. I draw the support or the resistance level where I was told to. What happened? I was stopped out and I lost money. I'd wait for the RSI to become overbought like I was told to. What happened? I was stopped out again. I lost even more.
So what am I doing here? I'm basically, I'm using a story. Okay, so I'm not saying, are you doing this stuff that's not working? I'm instead using a story format. So I'm saying, look, before I was profitable, I was doing all this stuff that didn't work for me. And I know from market research, this is the stuff that doesn't work for most people, right? So again, I'm using a story, number one. And I'm also entering the conversation in their head, number two, as well, so that people start thinking, oh shit, you know, I try trend lines and they don't work. You know, I've tried support and resistance. That doesn't work either. I've tried RSIs, you know, and I get stopped out as well. Like, shit, this guy knows me, you know, this guy's got the same story as me. So it creates that resonance between me and them, and it starts to form a bond.
The problem was right there all along, staring me in the face like Mike Tyson staring at an opponent, dead in the eye inside the ring. The problem was this.
Again, bit of a pattern interrupt here, you know, a picture of Mike Tyson. I'm using something a little bit, you know, off kilter, a little bit kind of funny, just to make my point. I'm still making my point, you know, and I'm saying to them, look, the problem is discretion. You know, I was trading using best guesses, predictions, hope, and I was gambling. And again, that is what most people in our target audience are experiencing. They are trading using best guesses, predictions, hope. And a lot of the time, we know from market research that they do feel like they're gambling. So again, we're building rapport with the ideal client here.
I was trading using best guesses, using predictions, using hope. And above all, I was gambling. I was a gambler. And we all know what happens to gamblers, don't we? They lose everything.
What have I just done there? I've basically said, if you are doing this stuff, you're likely to lose everything. And again, I haven't said, if you do it, you will lose everything. I've said, you know, I've framed it in a story so that it's more believable and it flows better.
And it was around that time that I'd realized, if I'm going to make this a career, I have to invest in my education, which led me to working with 2 trading coaches at that time.
Now here I'm just quickly explaining like a bit about me, my story, and adding that kind of trust factor and backing up my claims as well, and kind of saying, this is what I've done and this is why you can trust me and believe me.
A trader from the Futex proprietary trading firm in London who specialised in using statistics to identify sources of edge, and a trader who'd previously traded for the Sanglucci hedge fund in New York who specialised in using numerical market dynamics to inform trade decisions. And after working with those 2 traders, I discovered trading using mechanical rules, and thanks to both of those traders combined, I was able to actually identify my own sources of edge and construct my own set of mechanical rules that I then used to trade. That was when my light bulb moment happened. Everything finally made sense. Let me explain. See, the dictionary definition of discretion, the very thing that was holding me back all along, is the freedom to decide what should be done in a particular situation. Or in other words, as a trader, you're left to make decisions with no clear proven framework, inconsistent actions, and thus inconsistent.
Now what I'm doing, I'm just backing up. I'm basically saying, look, if you use discretion, you're going to struggle. You're kind of fucked, right? But if you use like mechanical rules, this is how it works. This is why it works. This is like the proof, and I'm using a screenshot from Google, from a dictionary. So you can't argue with the dictionary, like if I said, this is why discretion doesn't work, just believe me. And this is why mechanical rules work. Again, just believe me, just trust me. That's not a strong enough argument, but dictionary definitions cannot be argued with. Like you can't argue with a dictionary, right? So I'm slowly building my case here and like almost inceptioning people and planting in people's heads that if you're using discretion, you're going to fail. And if you trade using mechanical rules, you're going to succeed, you're going to win.
Results. Whereas the dictionary definition of mechanical is done without any thought or spontaneity, automatic. Or in other words, again, as a trader, you know exactly what to do, where, when, and why. Consistent actions and thus consistent results. And most traders out there still haven't come to that realization that what they're doing, the strategies that they're using, it all rests on the former, on discretion. They haven't yet come to that painful realization that hit me like a ton of bricks all those years ago, that by using analysis, indicators, I wasn't trading with a statistical edge, I was gambling. Thankfully though, after building my own sources of edge around the mechanical rules that I've used to trade now for so many years, I finally gained profitability and I've been able to build a great career as a trader. And it isn't just me using the rules to pull money out of the market.
So what I'm doing here is by saying this, it isn't just me. I'm saying this is not unique to me. Basically, anyone can do it.
Either. Across the years, I've handed the rules to traders who've achieved some really...
And now I'm adding proof as well. So I'm not just saying it's not just me. I'm saying it's not just me. And also, I've got a YouTube channel full of videos. I've got review sites full of testimonials. I've got blah, blah, blah. And I'm building those building blocks of proof, removing skepticism, and just proving my point, basically, with evidence.
Incredible things. As you'll have seen if you follow me on YouTube, via the in-person client interviews, the in-person video testimonials with their damn receipts to prove that they are all paying clients, hundreds of 5-star reviews. The success stories are just insane. And not only that, not many people know this, but every single member of my team here at WBTrading actually started out as paying clients themselves. Yes, both of our in-house coaches, our client success managers, my data assistants, initially, they all bought my Platinum program. They got huge results and we became friends across the year.
So what am I doing here? I'm just saying like people have bought this course and got such a good result that we've formed friendships and they've even come to work for the company and help me grow the company. And this is actually true for the first like 4 or 5 or 6 people that I hired. They all came to me as clients and blah, 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 basically. So this is just to build more proof around, yes, this does work. Yes, this is a long-term venture, blah, blah, blah.
As they built up their trading accounts using the rules. And when it came time to begin hiring for each role, I already knew each of them would be the perfect fit. For example, one of our in-house coaches, Tom, I actually coached Tom myself for just above 2 years as he more than doubled his trading account in the first year alone. And he's now, for that reason, really the ideal coach for our clients because he's been where they are and he's achieved exactly what they yearn to achieve, as I have myself. Consistent, long-term profitability. But wait, there are so many fakes and fraudsters out there. How do you know that I'm not one of them? Right, well, it's actually pretty simple. On my YouTube...
So again, what am I doing here? I'm addressing what they're probably thinking in their mind. I've just said there are so many fakes and fraudsters and scammers. How do you know that I'm not one of them? Because it's likely that they're thinking, even at this stage, we're only almost 7 minutes in, but they could well still be thinking like, who is this guy? Is this real? Is this guy some kind of scammer? Blah, 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 right? Because, you've got to remember, these people have just clicked an ad, opted in, and then they're on a VSL. So for our market, we've just got to do a bit more legwork in building proof and trust. And that's what I'm doing here. I'm just basically showing them I'm just showing them proof and trust.
Things like record my computer screen as I've traded these edges live in real time for all to see. And these aren't the usual hindsight trades that 99% of other quote unquote traders share. You can actually see me before, throughout, and after the trades, taking a position in real time with real money. And not only that, here are my broker statements. And for those that don't know this, statements are only issued via a live real money account. If you're using a demo or a simulation account, a broker does not send you statements. And I've been receiving these for almost a decade, as you can see.
Proof.
Now, let me ask you a question. How would you like to learn the mechanical rules that I use and instantly gain profitability? The ability to pull money out of the markets on demand within the next 7 days. How about whilst actually cutting your chart time down to just 60 minutes per day, if not less? Put your skepticism aside for just a second and just stop and think what that would feel like. The worry about paying the bills or the mortgage, the self-doubt that comes with struggling as a trader, all of that would just fade away.
So what I'm doing here, I'm building emotional attachment here. So I'm calling out their wants, their needs, and I'm widening the gap, and saying to them, is this what you want? You likely want this. You're probably thinking, you're probably skeptical, but lay the skepticism aside for a second and just let this sink in. That's a really powerful thing to say. Just lay your skepticism aside for just 1 second and just imagine this, and that's another very powerful word as well, the word imagine. Because when you say that, people genuinely do, they go into their mind and picture it for themselves. So I'm just building emotional attachment here to the outcome.
You'd be able to finally achieve that dream income, finally take that luxury holiday that you've been dreaming of, treat your partner to that brand new shiny car, and you would feel secure in the knowledge that your trading is finally on sound footing. You wouldn't have to worry any longer about whether the trades that you're taking are correct or not. You wouldn't have to ask yourself whether the setups you're taking are trades that you should, in fact, even be.
What I'm doing here is you wouldn't have to all of the stuff that's held you back. You wouldn't have to all of the problems that you've faced so far. You can get rid of all of that stuff that's held you back.
In fact, you wouldn't even have to care whether each trade is a win or a loss, because you would know that you would have an edge over the market, proven via statistics, meaning that when you lose small, and when you win big, always coming out ahead of the market long term. And you would finally be able to trade with complete confidence and self-belief. But how is all this possible? With mechanical rules.
So now I'm revealing the mechanism. So this is basically me finally closing that loop. I opened that loop. What the hell are mechanical rules? Here, I'm actually closing that loop and answering the question, but just in a very, very basic top level way. This doesn't give away the product. It doesn't give away the strategies. It doesn't give away anything. It just very basically explains the top level concept
in place that literally tell you, 1, this is the market to trade. 2, wait for X to happen. And when X happens, take the trade, put your stop loss here, your profit target there, and just walk away. With rules in hand, it's almost like having a rigged casino machine that you will never want to stop playing, because every time you put $1 in, it spits out $3 or $5 or $10 back out and directly into your trading account so repeatedly that you will never worry about your ability to make money for you and your family for the rest of your life. Now, look, if you're wondering what the catch is, let's just cut the shit right now, because I hate it when some hypey dude on the internet tells me, oh, it's so simple to make a ton of money, just follow the magic system. Eat these magic beans, or just rub this special spot on the genie's belly to make money magically fall from the sky.
What have I done there? A massive pattern interrupt straight after revealing the mechanism. Let's just cut the shit. No one is going to be expecting that. People are going to be thinking, oh my God, he swore this is meant to be like a professional video. Who is this guy? It's got the slides on there to kind of hold people's attention. And if anybody is watching this VSL whilst they're fucking around in another tab, they're on Facebook or they're elsewhere, when they hear that, it's going to kind of shock them into kind of being conscious again and being kind of aware again of the VSL. And they're almost certainly going to come back to the video. So if they were in another tab, they're almost certainly going to come back to the video and start watching again at that stage. And that's why pattern interrupts, and even just putting in a little swear word just here and there, not too many, just like 1 or 2, in this kind of video, it can actually do you a lot of favors. And also, for anybody that doesn't know this, from a psychological standpoint, It's said that research suggests people that swear are actually more trustworthy. I won't go into all the psychological blah, blah, blah of that here, but when a human hears a swear word, it just pricks up their ears, and it makes you pay attention. So just adding them in here and there can really help. And also, what am I doing on this slide that we're looking at here? I'm basically just, what's the word? I'm kind of being honest, and just saying, look, I can't promise you any returns here, because that's just not the way that it works. So I'm just being honest and transparent, and building trust, essentially.
I can't promise any one of you on this training a freaking penny, because I have no way of knowing if or how you'll apply what you're actually learning here. So let me make this simple for you. If you are not regularly and easily pulling money out of the markets, the problem is simple. You are missing one of, if not all three of, the symptoms of struggle that losing traders face. One, you do not have a strategy that provides a statistical edge. Number two, you have a strategy, proven or non-proven, but either way, you can't follow it because it relies on some form of discretion, leaving you to guess, predict, hope for the best, and above all, gamble. Or number three, before today, you simply didn't even know about the importance of edge, or that all along, you've actually been trading in a way that means you were set up to lose money.
So what have I done there? Those are the three main things. Those are the three main biggest problems that our target audience has. So I've laid them out there, and I now know that our ideal buyer is going to resonate with either one of those or two of those or all three of those, right? So at this stage, a viewer, a prospect, is going to be thinking, shit, this is me. That I've got that. I don't have a strategy that provides an edge. I don't even know what an edge is. So now they're glued in because they have to let this loop be closed, and they're going to be waiting and thinking, what the fuck is the solution? Where are you going with this? So this keeps them watching, and it also builds that relatability and the trust.
From the very beginning, by relying on quote unquote strategies that not only rest on you gambling, but that actually mean the market actually has an edge over you. Because here's the simple truth. If you do not have a strategy that is statistically proven to provide an edge over the market, and that comes with clear, proven mechanical rules to follow, removing human emotion altogether, you simply cannot consistently pull money out of the markets. But you might be asking, well, why not? And that's because by using discretion, like we mentioned earlier, your actions are inconsistent, and therefore your results are inconsistent. Whereas by using mechanical rules that never change, your actions are then finally consistent, meaning, you guessed it, results are finally consistent. But here's the good news. There are only two things that you will ever need to consistently pull money out of the markets. Number one, a strategy.
So now here, what am I doing? I'm telling them the solution.
Edge with clear mechanical rules to follow. And number two, to manage risk and execute long term as that edge is delivered and your trading account is propelled forwards faster than a Formula One car at the Grand Prix. You do not need any analysis, fundamental or technical. No trend lines.
You don't need to do all of the stuff that's held you back so far.
You do not need a single wing-ding indicator, no RSI, no Bollinger Bands, no stochastics, and you don't need to spend any more than 60 minutes per day at the charts either. So let's look at number one, a strategy that provides a statistical edge with clear mechanical rules to follow. Why is this important? Well, because without a strategy that provides a statistical edge, you will 100% lose money. That is a fact. Just like if the casino removed those two green pockets from the roulette wheel, they would lose money. As traders, we are no different. We need our green pockets, so to speak. Whatever strategy you're trading, you must be able to systemize it and put rules in place so that you can then back and forward test those rules to prove that the strategy.
So what am I doing here? I'm just adding a bit of value, doing a bit of kind of top level teaching, and just telling them a bit about what constitutes a profitable strategy, essentially, and just doing a bit of top level explaining.
Works. And with that proof in hand, you'll then have the confidence to actually execute those rules, generating the same profits that it generated on paper. And the peace of mind that comes with doing those things, seeing a strategy work on paper and then taking it live and achieving the same results, building your account, that is unlike anything else. When you begin trading with Edge and you see your account balance crawling consistently upwards month after month, it's a feeling of freedom and empowerment unlike any other. Next, let's look at number two, to manage risk and execute long.
Here I'm triggering their imagination again, and I'm pulling on those kind of emotional heartstrings.
Term as that edge is delivered. See, we will have losing trades, just like we will have winning trades. The key difference here is most people exit their winning trades early, and they run their losses. I can't tell you how many times I've received an email saying, well, I'm currently holding a huge loss and I'm waiting for it to turn around and come good. What should I do? Should I cut the loss or wait to see if it comes back? In fact, literally, just a few weeks ago, I received one of these emails. The guy had a newly funded $10,000 account, which was his second account so far, I should add, and he was underwater on a trade by roughly $3,000 when he sent me an email asking that very question.
So this is something that happens a lot with traders. They will cut their they'll cut their wins short and snatch at small wins, but they will run their losses and just hope that they turn around. And a lot of people do this. A lot of people do this. So what I'm doing here is I'm basically using a story. Okay, so I'm not being direct with the person. I'm using a story to share this. Okay, so that it's indirect. And I'm basically saying, like, you probably do this, or if you don't do it, you've done it in the past. And again, I'm drawing the prospect in here because they're going to be thinking, oh, fuck, I've done this in the past, or hell, I'm even in a loss right now, So they're going to be getting closer and closer to me as a presenter, and it's going to build more and more trust. And they're going to think, oh my God, this guy knows me so well. This guy is telling me all the things that I struggle with, all the problems I've ever faced. This guy knows them. So it draws them in and keeps them watching and primes them to take action on the next step, which is, of course, to book a call.
That very question. I said to him, the professional thing to do is cut the loss and learn a strategy that provides an edge so that never has to happen again. He then emailed me back a few weeks later with one of the most painful emails I've ever received. In fact, I was going to share it in this training, but I asked his permission and he actually asked me not to. But his entire account, every single cent of that $10,000 was wiped by that one single trade. One trade taken using discretion crushed him and stole $10,000 from him, all because he didn't.
So what am I saying there? I'm saying if you use discretion, you're going to lose a lot of money, and it's almost guaranteed. So again, I'm widening the gap here, and I'm slowly giving them a solution, which is mechanical rules. And I'm slowly saying, you need to stop doing this. You need to stop trading how you are right now. And in other words, you need my solution.
Have clear rules in place to actually tell him, get in here, put a stop loss here, put a profit target there, and just walk away. If he had those rules in place and he was managing risk, he'd have lost no more than 1 or 2% of his account on that trade. Instead, he lost 100%, and he was crushed. He was devastated by that loss. And the crazy thing is, you can literally learn mechanical rules, begin using them today, and whatever your trading platform, whatever your level of experience, as long as you follow the simple rules, you will make
new, easy, safe, big, fast. That's what I'm doing here. I'm basically saying anyone can do this. Doesn't matter how experienced you are. All you need is my mechanism, mechanical rules, and it's just easy, it's fast, it's going to solve all the problems, and you're just going to get the result that you want.
Money. How, again, the factual, checkable statistics prove that to yourself. But stop, because I can hear your bullshit detector ringing louder than the scream of an African banshee. And don't worry, none of our previous clients believed that a literal set of rules could have the power to allow them to receive $300,000 in proprietary funding, like they did for our client Tamsin, or that they could allow them to.
So another pattern interrupt here, and one more swear word as well. I think I only swear like twice in this whole 20-minute video, but I just said there, I can hear your bullshit detector ringing louder than the scream of an African banshee. Who says that? in a this is meant to be kind of a, upmarket professional trading education video here. And I'm talking about banshees and bullshit. It's just really useful to do this between your key points. And second to that, I'm basically saying, look, if you think that I'm lying, don't worry. All of our clients thought that I was lying as well. But look, here's the proof. Screenshots of their Facebook messages, their account statements, their broker platform screenshots. And I'm just proving it. I'm literally proving it by showing genuine, real results from our clients. So I'm making a bold claim and then making a joke, using a pattern interrupt, and then adding like substantial proof.
Repeatedly pull hundreds of dollars out of the markets whilst they slept, like they did for our client Matthew, or that they could enable them to add thousands of dollars to their bank account in one single trade, like they did for our client Steve. But their results speak for themselves. don't they? And all they did to achieve those results is literally just follow a set of mechanical rules repeatedly every day.
It's easy, it's fast, it's safe. Just playing on those key kind of facets of a VSL. All those guys did to make all of that money is literally follow a set of rules. That is it. New, easy, fast.
Yes, the exact same rules, just rinse and repeat every day. Just wait for A to happen. If A happens, then do B. Place a stop loss here, a profit target there, and just walk away. No worrying about, is this trade correct or not? No having to ask yourself whether the setup you've just taken is a trade that you should even be in. No entering late, no exiting early. In fact, no thought or emotion whatsoever. Just a proven system where you will win more than you lose. Something that you can stick to, where you know, in the end, you will make money. Now, at this stage, you're probably expecting me to begin shoving an hour-long sales pitch for our Platinum program down your throats, just like in every other.
So, again, one massive thing in the trading industry is automated webinars that are not real, where they basically do what I've just done and then pitch you for an hour. And people in the market have got quite sophisticated now, and they know that this is the case. So I'm using that to my favor. You know, I'm saying, look, you've probably been on these webinars where it's a video and then they pitch you at the end. I'm not going to do that. You know, so I'm different to those guys. You can trust me. You know, I'm not going to do that bullshit that the other guys do. I'm going to do this instead. I'm going to offer you a new path.
Webinar that we all hate will do. But here's the thing. A lot of people ask me, well, how long did the rules actually take you to build? And the answer is, well, a long time, to say the least. And don't get me wrong, you could build your own by investing $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 in similar training, along with maybe 2 or 3 years of your time, going through that trial and error and the ups and the downs and the costly mistakes along the way. But if you're anything like me, you'd probably just prefer to just have everything mapped out for you and handed over for you.
So here, in case anybody is, so if any viewer is thinking like, oh, maybe I can do this myself, maybe I can figure this out, maybe I can just go on YouTube and Google search mechanical rules and try and do this on my own, I'm removing that objection here. Okay, so I'm saying, look, how long did this take me to get to? How long did the rules take me to build? It took me a very long time. You could probably do it on your own, but it's going to take thousands of dollars, years of your time. And if you're anything like me, you'd probably just prefer to just get handed it. You know, and again, it goes back to that NESB principle. Easy, fast, safe, no work, no effort, just there it is on a plate. Just do it and make money. You know, that's what we're essentially selling people here. So this slide, the purpose of it is to say, look, you cannot do this on your own. It's going to cost you thousands of pounds and years of your time. Would you like me to just hand you the rules right now?
So you can skip all of that and just get the results that you're looking for, right? You probably just want to be handed the rules, told which markets to use them in, and off you go. So that you can start generating income. And if that is what you want, and you'd like to achieve the same results that my previous clients have achieved, then it's exactly what my Platinum program will do for you. But like I said twice now, there is no sales pitch to deliver here whatsoever, because we don't just let everybody and anybody.
So what I'm doing here, I've just very, very, very briefly mentioned that there is a product. I've just said that's what you get in my Platinum program. And then straight away, before there's any sales resistance or people start clicking off the VSL, I've then challenged them on that and said, look, you can't buy it. You know, I've got a program, but you cannot buy it. And people are going to be thinking, what the fuck? Like, why can't I buy it? You know, it doesn't make sense. This is probably a sales video, but why can't I buy the product though? That just doesn't make sense. So we're almost opening a loop here. And what we're slowly going to do now is justify why they have to book a call to get to the next step. So we don't just let anyone join the program. So now they're thinking, oh shit, like, I wonder, I mean, can I buy the program? How do I buy the program? You know, what is it? Where is it? How much does it cost? All this stuff. So they almost kind of have to keep watching to find all of that out.
Join the program, which is why you will not find a buy button anywhere on this page. Unlike most other throwaway courses out there that try and hard sell you on how great it is and try their hardest to convince you, to twist your arm and persuade you to buy, we don't do any of that. We're different. We actually care deeply about the clients that we work with, and we only want to work with great people who we know will come into the program, enjoy learning everything, and make great use of the rules themselves. So if you think that that's you and you'd like to discuss joining the program, we ask that you book in a complimentary strategy session call with me personally first, so that we can make sure that the program is right for you and will genuinely help you. And yes, I actually invest my own time in these calls because I'm trying to keep our mechanical edges as locked up as I can for 2 reasons. Number one, after spending years building these strategies, I don't want to just hand them out.
So here I'm building exclusivity around the call, right? And I'm almost kind of dangling the carrot in front of people and saying, you might not be able to get this. You know, there's a chance that you might not even be able to get these rules, you know, you might not even be able to get on a call, you know, so we're kind of building that want for people to even book the call. We're kind of positioning the call as a exclusive, you know, difficult thing to get, which is a very powerful frame.
Out to anyone, like I just said. And number two, I want to make sure that if you work with us, you're going to follow the rules and get huge results, because my own reputation hangs on your success. After all, my business is named after me, William Brown, WBTrading. So I only want to work with traders who I am sure will achieve massive success, life-changing results. So to book in your complimentary strategy session with me, just click the button below this video, select a date and a time on the next page, and we'll jump on a call together over the next few days. Now,
you're also going to see that I do a few call to actions here. So I did one call to action a second ago when I mentioned the call. I've just done a strong call to action there and said there's a button below the video, click it and book a call right now. And now I'm just going to go a bit further on really framing the call as valuable.
Spots are limited because I can only physically fit in so many calls. I'm only human after all, and it will be me on the call with you. So please don't wait to book a slot because the calendar will fill up fast. The calls are therefore on a first come, first serve basis. On the strategy session, we'll be discussing your current trading, and we'll also be identifying the
So if anyone at this stage is thinking like, you know, is this a sales call? What are we going to discuss on the call? How long is it going to be? What, people are going to have all these questions about what's even going to happen on this call. So I'm just cleaning up that objection essentially and just telling them this is exactly what we're going to do. And it just removes the tension behind booking, because no one wants to book a call where they don't even know what's going to happen on it. Is it a sales call? Is it not? Do you get a resource? Do you not? Like, what is the point of this call? So here I'm just clearing that up so that they can book a call without any pressure.
That have been holding you back so far, so that I can help you actually remove these. And if you are a good fit for the program, we will get you the mechanical rules so that you can achieve profitability. Now, I promise you, this will be the single best time investments.
Sell the call, sell the call, sell the call
you have ever made
back into a call to action
within your trading. So again, click the button below this video, select a date and a time on the next page, and we'll jump on a call together over the next few days. Also, I did promise to hand over our Edge guide, and what I've done is I've set up an automatic email to go out to those of you who've stayed up to this point. So look out for that in your email inbox any second now. That aside though, again, if you would like to book in your free strategy session call with me before that calendar fills up, again, click the button below this video right now, select a date and a time on the next page, and we'll jump on a call together over the next few days. I look forward to speaking with you soon, and let's get you results within your trading.
All right, and that's it. So 20 minutes. It was actually about 22 or 3, but I used that hack where I put it in a video editor and I speed it up by 0.1 times just to shorten it a little bit. And you'll also see that I've left the VSL running for about 30-40 seconds with a flashing arrow and just a very strong call to action. Click the button below this video. Simple as that. So I hope that helps. I hope that added value. Hopefully you learned from that and you can use some of that stuff or all of that stuff in your next VSL. Any questions, just ask and I'll speak to you again soon.